Citroen 2 CVs onto the grid then. Now, as we know, some of these cars with two different drivers. The second driver in for those cars in this race. Two drivers sharing some of the cars. It's a familiar looking front row. 97 Pete Sparrow on pole alongside 89 Nick Crispin. Number 30 Luca Proietti on row 2 alongside 49 of Chris Tovey. 92 Sandro Proietti alongside David O'Keefe on row 3. Row 4 is Mick Story and number 21 Mark Grasby. The fifth row of the grid, 40 Chris Yates and number 96 of Chris Hall. Row 6, 72 Matthew Hollis and number 55 of Julie Walford. In fact, that's not Julie Walford, sorry, that's Roy Eastwood in that car. He's taken over at the wheel of that car. On the seventh row, car 71 is now driven by Richard Hollis Brown. 81 alongside him is Simon Turner. 23 is now driven by Richard Plyer, and 70 is Nigel Hollis. Car 47 is Max Wire on row 9 alongside Ron Mears, number 67. Then on the 10th row, car 41 was driven earlier by Martin Ryman. It is now driven by the wonderfully named Sir Aubrey Brocklebank. Real name. 82 Andy Donaldson alongside him, and number 28 is George Broadhurst at the back of the grid. So some of the cars have swapped drivers. As we said, it's the car or the team that scores points in this championship, not the individual driver. They score points as a team, and that all builds up towards the 24-hour race at the end of the season. Things done slightly differently in the 2CVparts.com Citroen 2CV Championship. As we know, the owner of 2CVparts.com is out in the 55 car in this one. Roy Eastwood from Stone in Staffordshire, been racing these cars for many years. Has won the 24-hour race in the past. We may have just had a Grand Prix elsewhere, but the real racing entertainment is right here. The Citroen 2CV Championship. It's Team Lion in pole position. Pete Sparrow. 89, that's the DD Motorsport car. I think my personal favourite team name has to be number 96 Chris Hall's car, Pork Pie Racing. So we've got pork pies, blueberry muffins and jelly snakes. At least we know the paddock catering is good in Citroen 2CV racing. This will be a 15-minute race. There's the Hollis Motorsport cars, the blue and orange. This race we've got Richard Hollis Brown, Matthew Hollis and Nigel Hollis. Nigel and his two sons all out in this one. They're based in Leicestershire. George Broadhurst at the back in 28. There's the Grey Arrow, number 47 Max Wire. Can anyone stop Pete Sparrow, the king of 2CV racing? There's 79 David O'Keefe, the other longest serving Citroen 2CV racer. There's 55 Roy Eastwood, the owner of 2CVparts.com. 23, listed as Quit Don't Sit, the team name on the entry list, but that's the Jelly Snake Racing car, driven by Richard Plyer in this race. They come up to complete their green flag lap. Up to the grid then for race 2 for the 2CVparts.com Classic Citroen 2CV Racing Championship. Pete Sparrow in pole position, Nick Crispin number 89 alongside him, Luca Proietti and Chris Tovey on the second row in 30 and 49, Sandro Proietti, Luca's father, on row 3 alongside David O'Keefe in the number 79, the second of the Team Lion cars. Fourth row is Mick Story alongside Mark Grasby, and away they go. Good start by Nick Crispin in the 89 on the charge down to Paddock Hill Bend. Not such a good start this time for Pete Sparrow. He likes to flag for the 97 car in race 1 as they make their way into Paddock. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. The Pork Pie Racing car of 96 Chris Hall bounced off somebody, one of the Hollis cars, I think. As Pete Sparrow has held his lead, he got the inside line into Paddock, and up towards Druids they go. They swing their way in. Chris Tovey having a look up the inside there. 3 wide further back. David O'Keefe in the middle sends Sandro Proietti out wide. Luca Proietti gets through into 4th place. And here comes Sandro back on the inside. Look at this into Graham Hill Bend. The 3 of them together. Sandro's taken both of them, using his years of experience there. David O'Keefe, so even more experienced in 2 CVs. Number 79. But it's the number 97 of Citroën 2CV specialist Pete Sparrow who leads the way. All the battling in the lower reach to the top 10. There's Mick Story in the red number 4 car, chased by Mark Grasby in the 21. Round they come to complete lap number 1 then. Luca Proietti on the outside of the 79 of David O'Keefe. 32 years, a Citroën 2CV racer. It's squeezed up towards the pit wall there. Mick Story in behind them. They complete the first lap then with Sparrow leading ahead of Nick Crispin, then Tovey. Virtual dead heat over the line there between O'Keefe and Luca Proietti. Still leaning on each other into Paddock there. Everybody round the first lap okay. George Broadhurst at the back in the number 28s. So here come the leaders up into Druids. Luca Proietti's having a look up the inside again in the number 30 further back, trying to retake David O'Keefe, and he's done it up into 5th position. Pete Sparrow from Nick Crispin, Chris Tovey, Sandro Proietti, a better run for him this time in the early stages. And we have a red flag, somebody's off in the gravel at Paddock. Who's that? Okay, we'll pick up who that is. Oh, it's the 47 car, Max Wire, and he's rolled it. Max Wire, that's rolled over the Grey Arrows car. The driver's out, he's okay. You can see the damage there to the rear of the roof. Oh dear. It slid off and dug into the gravel and rolled over there, so race stopped. And yes, you can get a 2CV upside down. There is Max Wire, number 47, the man from Newent. He appears to be okay. Well, Max Wire will be taken off in the medical carriage for a checkup, but he appears to be okay. Walking away there. Looks like he just went sliding into the gravel there, and the car dug in and rolled over. So the race brought to a halt. The cars have stopped on the grid. The clock has stopped at just over 13 minutes left on the clock. So we may get a full restart to this. We'll wait and see what the officials decide. The circuit doctor just checking on Max Wire there, as is routine. Well, Pete Sparrow was leading ahead of Crispin and Chris Tovey at the time of the stoppage there. It looks as though Max Wire may have tangled with possibly one of the Hollis cars there. George Broadhurst had pulled up to avoid him as well, I noticed. Max Wire just talking to the medical staff and the rescue crews there. But that's the end of the race for the Grey Arrow, number 47. See the damage to the roof there. Shows the strength of the roll cages, even in Citroën 2CVs. Minimal damage there. All the safety equipment has worked correctly. And now it's up to the marshalling team to try and dig it out of the gravel for the recovery vehicle. They are only light, these 2CVs, so the marshals could probably pick it up, but safety regulations probably prevent that. So the safety crew's just checking on Max Wire there, and we'll be back underway just as soon as we can. Well, there we see the number 47 Grey Arrow 2CV being wheeled onto the flatbed. And hopefully we'll soon get a restart of this 2CVparts.com Citroen 2CV Championship race. I'm sure they'll have that car straightened out by the time the 24 hours rolls around in August. It's a great event, that is, the Citroen 2CV 24 hours. Sponsored by Citroen UK for this year, so thanks to them for their support. We usually see some of the Belgian-based teams with their modified 2CVs come over for that one. I've seen a couple of minis in a class of their own as well on the grid in the last couple of seasons, but it's usually these cars that you see here, the Citroen 2CV Championship cars, which you will see on the grid. An interesting message just come in via social media from Andrew Charman, a one-time motorsport journalist and magazine editor, who points out we mentioned the name Sir Aubrey Brocklebank. And Sir Aubrey, one of the few racing drivers whose name has appeared on a steam locomotive. A miniature locomotive on the Ravenglass and Eskdale Miniature Railway in Cumbria bore the name Sir Aubrey Brocklebank. Presumably, whether it's the man himself who we've got on the grid here or one of his relatives from years gone by, one of his ancestors, we're not sure. But I'm sure Andrew can tell us more. That's I've never known that before, a racing driver's name appearing as the name of a steam locomotive. There we see the damage to the back of the number 47 Grey Arrow. Rear suspension is decidedly bent. You can see that's where it dug in as it slid sideways into the gravel. Yes, one of Sir Aubrey's ancestors, the locomotive was named after. Thank you, Andrew Charman, motorsport journalist and railway enthusiast. Remember, Andrew was the editor of Super Touring magazine in the 1990s. Still writing on touring car racing today. So thanks, Andrew, for your input. Good to know you're watching. We've got over 700 viewers on YouTube as well. One of our YouTube comments says, why didn't we get the world's strongest men in orange jackets for the recovery team there? The marshalling team here, as we said, probably could lift a Citroen 2CV, but safety regulations prevent that, unfortunately. We are going to have a full restart over 15 minutes, so it will be a full restart by the look of things. Okay, off they go then. Looks like they are going to do another green flag lap for the 2CVparts.com Citroën 2CV Championship. Like everybody else is still there with the exception of the grey arrow. Max Wire appears to be okay. George Broadhurst at the back in the 28, one of our newcomers this season, the SL Racing run car. George lives in South Wales. Lawrence Broadhurst from Cannock, he was previously a mechanic for the 2CV teams at the 24-hour Citroën 2CV race, switching to driver this year. There's Sandro Proietti, that green and blue car, normally driven by Nick Rhodes, that's Crisis Racing run car, run with the help of the Tête Rouge team. Driven today by Simon Turner, their car, number 81. Will we see Pete Sparrow break away into the lead once again? He didn't get the best of starts at the first attempt at this race. Nick Crispin was up there with him. It's a shame that Nick doesn't race the Shed anymore, the almost wood panel effects liveried car. I think it was actually wood panelled, that car. Only in Citroën 2CV racing would you see something like that. There's a challenge. Let's see a car covered with AstroTurf for the next challenge, shall we? Shouldn't have said that. They'll go and do it for the 24-hour race now. Up to the grid then for the second attempt at race 2 for the 2CVparts.com Citroën 2CV Championship. Race number 2 of the weekend. Pete Sparrow, number 97, the Team Lion car on pole. 89, Nick Crispin for DD Motorsports alongside him. Second row, number 30, the Bacon Racing car of Luca Proietti, alongside 49, driven by Chris Tovey, the Beacon Down Racing car. 92, Team Crisis with Tête Rouge, driven by Sandro Proietti. And 79, the second Team Lion car of David O'Keefe. Make up row 3. Then Rosie Racing, driven by Mick Story. And 21, Mark Grasby in the GR Racing car, row 8. Rev start to rise and away we go. Good start by Chris Tovey there from the outside. Pete Sparrow will lead the way. David O'Keefe's got a good start as well in the 79. They head up towards Paddock Hill Bend. Let's hope they all get round this time. Round Paddock Hill, looks like everything's okay in the midfield. There's number 96, Chris Hall, the Pork Pie Racing car. Out dragging Roy Eastwood in the Steve Walford Motorsport car, driven in race 1 by Julie Walford. Chris Tovey at the inside trying to take second place away, but it is Pete Sparrow who has got the lead once again. Tovey side by side with Nick Crispin. Behind them, David O'Keefe. He got away well from the third row up into fourth place. Nick Crispin holds that second place. Then it's the Proiettis, then Mark Grasby, Mick Story. The first of the Hollises, and whoops, couple of cars onto the grass there, the 71 and 81. 81 is Simon Turner, 71 driven in this race by Richard Hollis Brown. They've managed to save that and have kept going. And look at this for second place. Nick Crispin, Chris Tovey, David O'Keefe and the Proiettis. Luca Proietti's going grass tracking, look out. Mind the gravel, he ended up in there in race 1. Recovers it with the loss of about 3 or 4 places there, Luca Proietti. Plays rugby during the off-season on a regular basis, and he was certainly having a trying time there, wasn't he? Mick Story closing up on Mark Grasby as they complete the opening lap of this restarted race for the Citroën 2CV Championship, sponsored by 2CVparts.com. Up the hill, Pete Sparrow clear of Nick Crispin once again. Chris Tovey in third in that dark grey car. Very smart looking machine, that one. Fourth place is Sandro Proietti. Now here comes Chris Tovey for Beacon Down Racing. David O'Keefe in 5th position in the number 79. Then Mick Story is up into 6th with the demise of Luca Proietti. He is still running, but he's down to about 10th place. There is the blue and white Bacon Racing machine. Nick Crispin under real pressure here from Chris Tovey for that second place. Sandro Proietti, David O'Keefe, Story, Grasby. There's Luca Proietti at the inside, passes the 72 of Matthew Hollis. And behind him is the number 40 car, Chris Yates, and the Blueberry Muffins car. I wonder if they've got any blueberry muffins in their paddock enclosure. Side by side there for second. Here comes Chris Tovey on the inside, trying for second as they go up towards Hailwood Hill. Yes, he's got through up into second place. Nick Crispin fighting back. And here comes Sandro Proietti into the battle now in the 92, the ex-Fiat racer, among other things. Here comes David O'Keefe as well, a veteran of 32 years of Citroën 2CV racing. He and Pete Sparrow have both forgotten more about these cars than most have ever known. Away goes Pete Sparrow. Here's Chris Tovey heading this 4-car battle for second place. Things settling down a little now. It's a shame we haven't got Nick Crispin out in the shed, the wood-panelled car. In this new Dayglow red liveried machine. Tucks in behind Chris Tovey as they head up over the line. It's right on his bumper there. Is he going to get through on the inside here into paddock? No, he hasn't quite got the momentum there. You have to slipstream each other down the straight, and there's only one real straight on the Brands Hatch Indy circuit for them to do so. Away goes Pete Sparrow. Still the battle for second goes on. Crispin has a look on the inside, but Tovey closes the door. Then Proietti, O'Keefe. Luca Proietti's back up into 6th place. He's got ahead of Mick Story and Mark Grasby. Chris Yates and Matthew Hollis rounding out the top 10. Still just the one retirement, Max Wire, after his rollover. There's Chris Yates, number 40, the Blueberry Muffins car. Up the inside, there's Chris Hall, the Pork Pie racing car. Passes number 23, driven by Richard Plyer. In the car, run by Quit Don't Sit. No idea what that means. And the car originally run by the Jelly Snake Racing team. As I said earlier, where do they get these team names from? Down the inside goes the 23. See the Jelly Snake painted over the roof of it there. Nick Crispin has lost second place to Chris Tovey. It's Proietti having a look there as well, trying to take third place. He was on the outside though for Paddock Bend. Here comes the Crisis Racing run car up the inside, attacking Nick Crispin. David O'Keefe keeping a watching brief, and Luca Proietti's closing back up again after he ran wide at Clearways early on in this race. We've got just under 10 minutes to go. Sandro Proietti holding off David O'Keefe, and here's the battle further back again. The Pork Pie racing car having a go, and he's clipped the 81 there, the Tête Rouge car of Simon Turner. Bit of a tête-à-tête there, wasn't there, with the 96 of Chris Hall. Closing up on the 23 of, that's Richard Plyer. Getting frantic in the pack. Things starting to settle down a bit more now. Chris Tovey comes through in second place, but Pete Sparrow is already away up the road in the 97. The lead gap is 3.5 seconds. Here's Luca Proietti. Up the inside into paddock. He's going to take 5th place away from David O'Keefe, and he's done it. Sandro Proietti's on the inside as well, the Proietti family based in Southo. Racing together again now, and Luca's really flying. Look at this up the inside. He's going to take both of them. Brilliant by Luca Proietti. Now, can he turn it back in time? He's done it, and he's gained 3 places in 2 corners. Oh, it's going to be 4 wide into Graham Hibbett. This is never going to work. Look at this. Nick Crispin up the inside, and he's done it. Oh, brilliant. When was the last time you saw 4 cars wide into Graham Hill Bend? Even the supercars couldn't do that. Citroën 2CV racing at its very, very best. Crispin holds off the Proiettis, and poor old David O'Keefe's been shuffled back again. Now he's back up the inside. This is better than the pickups we saw just now as well. They're even closer. David O'Keefe back up the inside. Attacks Luca Proietti. Poor old Luca Proietti, he pulled off that brilliant move up into Druids, and now he's been shuffled back another 3 places. Here's the battle further back. 23 of Richard Plyer. 71, that's Richard Hollis Brown. Car raced by John Widowson earlier on. And racing with them is Simon Turner in the 81. Chris Hall in the Pork Pie racing car is behind them. They're going to try and go 3 wide at Paddock Hill Bend. Simon Turner up the outside in the 81. He's got the straight line speed. 23 is going to get squeezed in the middle there, Richard Plyer. Through paddock bend they go. Careful not to run wide into the gravel there. Here's our battle for second place. Nick Crispin has it at the moment, I think. No, it's Chris Tovey in second. Crispin is third. Then the Proietti's fourth and fifth. David O'Keefe sixth. And Mick Story seventh. So are they settling down again in this battle for second and third in the Citroën 2CV Championship? Pete Sparrow leading the way now. Well, the gap was 3.5 seconds. We'll see what it is this time through over the line. Nearly 6 seconds now, so he's pulling away at a fair old rate of knots, Pete Sparrow. But the fastest lap of the race has been done by Luca Proietti on that recovery drive after he ran wide early on. There's Mark Graspy, he's back in 8th place. Chris Yates is 9th, holding off attacks of one of the Hollises there. It's Matthew Hollis. Luca Proietti up the inside. Sandro has run wide in the green car, and David O'Keefe's going to get through as well, or is he? No, Sandro's going to have the inside line for Graham Hill Bend. This championship proving once again that you don't need a large, expensive car to go racing in. All you need is a Citroën 2CV and a little setup know-how from someone like Pete Sparrow or one of the other specialist teams, and you can go racing on a budget and have enormous fun doing so, just like David O'Keefe's been doing for the past 32 years. He attacks Sandro Proietti side by side as they come off Clark Curve there, just under 6 minutes of the race to go. And what a brilliant race it has been. Pete Sparrow 6.5 seconds to the good now over Chris Tovey. Now, isn't it Crispin reeling him in? Yes, I think he is slightly. Could see battle join for second again here. O'Keefe has got ahead of Sandro Proietti once again into paddock bend. Here they are at the Hill to Druids. It's not until you stand at the bottom of it that you realise just how steep Halewood Hill is. Ahead of them, Luca Proietti trying to make a move for third place, but Nick Crispin again has got that line for Graham Hill Bend. Proietti still with the fastest lap of the race. There's number 40, that's Chris Yates ahead of Matthew Hollis. They're battling for 9th place. Battles all the way down the order. No retirement since the race was restarted so far. I'm going to put the curse of the commentator on anybody. Of course, we lost Max Wire prior to the restart. There is number 40, still with the 4 drivers' names from the 24-hour race, including Mark Noiro, the Caterham graduate star who has competed in these cars over the years. And Chris Tovey has been caught by Nick Crispin. They're heading out towards Druids. Here they come. Luca Proietti's there as well. Crispin's having to attack and defend at the same time. Here comes Luca Proietti. He's got that line absolutely nailed on through Druids, hasn't he? He's through into third place, and now he's going to go for second. Well, Luca Proietti would certainly be my nomination for the driver of the day in the 2CVparts.com Citroën 2CV Championship. He went down to 10th after a couple of laps after running wide at Clearways, and he's back up into third place. Can he catch Chris Tovey for second? They're not going to catch Pete Sparrow. He's 7.5 seconds clear. Through the right-hander at Clearways into Clark Curve. It's like one continuous curve, and Proietti clipped the curb there on the inside. As he attacks Chris Tovey. Can he go through into second? Still this battle going on further back. Matthew Hollis finally gets a run on Chris Yates in the number 40. Is he going to go through? No, because Yates has got the inside line for the right-hander. Andy Donaldson's competed in that car as well in the 24-hour race. He's out in the Regimental Racing car further back, number 82 today. Well, there is Pete Sparrow. We haven't forgotten about our race leader. He's just lapped Ron Mears, number 67, the man from Cardiff. Sideways there, Luca Proietti. Look at that, sliding that number 30 car around. He's trying to take second place away with his patented move at Druids, but Chris Tovey is having none of it. And now Crispin says, OK, I'll attack back up the inside, wallop into the side of the 30. They're going to go onto the grass. Can they save it? Yes, they can. Proietti keeps his foot in, so does Crispin. They're going to be side by side on the run into Surtees. Crispin comes out ahead. And look, Sandro Proietti and David O'Keefe have closed back up on them now as well. 2.5 minutes to go in this cracking race for the Citroën 2CV Championship. Proietti Senior back up the inside. 28 car just pulled into the pit lane. We've lost George Broadhurst. There he is in the pits. But this phenomenal fight for third place, it nearly came apart there when Nick Crispin went down the inside into Graham Hill Bend, clipped the back of Luca Proietti. They slid wide, and poor old Luca Proietti's been shuffled back again. He's got 2 minutes to attack the three in front of him. David O'Keefe getting through there. Sandro, his father, now going for Nick Crispin. It's a phenomenal battle for third place. Sparrow leads Tuvey by 8 seconds. They're coming into backmarker traffic, this quartet, as well. Oh, and Luca Proietti suffering for that contact. His front wing has come off. Oh, that's a shame. That'll slow him down. Backmarkers ahead of them here. Yeah, you can see the whole front corner starting to come away there. Oh, poor Luca Proietti. That's a real shame. He was on for second place until that bit of contact. He's going to try and drag it to the finish line as they lap Ron Mears, 67. Former professional sailor, Ron Mears from Cardiff. Nick Crispin holds that third place. Chris Tuvey in second. Someone waving frantically at Luca Proietti there from the pit wall. And there you can see, look at the state of that. The front wing of the Citroën 2CV hanging off. George Broadhurst is going to rejoin. I think we might be on the last lap now. We'll wait to see if they get one more lap in. Depends how quick Pete Sparrow's going. Well, he's 10 seconds clear of Chris Tuvey now. He's lapping 2 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else. He's done a 1 minute 7.689, so we might get one more lap out of this. Nick Crispin still holding off Sandro Proietti for third. And there is Pete Sparrow. He's run away and hid at the front of the field. I wonder how many races he has won in this championship in the past 32 years. Here he comes, Mr. Citroën 2CV. Flings it round Clark Curve. I think he might get one more lap in. It's going to be tight here. Lapping one of the Hollis cars there. Number 70, Nigel Hollis, goes a lap down. Now, is the checkered flag going to come out this time? No, it's not. 5 seconds too early, Pete Sparrow. So we're going to do one more lap. Nobody else within the length of the Brabham Straight of him. Here comes the second place fight. Chris Tuvey, Nick Crispin, Sandro Proietti, David O'Keefe, and the slightly hobbled car of Luca Proietti. He's going to get there to the finish, I think. Pete Sparrow, round Druids for the last time. 11.2 seconds. He gained another second on that last lap. The king of Citroën 2CV racing. Here he comes then, the man from Hereford. Owner of Sparrow Automotive Citroën 2CV specialists. It's going to be another double victory for the Team Lion 2CV. Round Clearways and Clark Curve for the final time. A perfect display from Pete Sparrow. 2 pole positions. Only led very briefly at the start of race 2 by Nick Crispin, but it's going to be 2 race victories for Pete Sparrow, his second Citroën 2CV Championship win of a perfect weekend. Fastest lap as well. Second is going to go to Chris Tuvey. He does hang on ahead of Nick Crispin. Here they come up over the line. Fourth for Sandro Proietti. And David O'Keefe will come over in 5th position. Dragging his front wing alongside the car, Luca Proietti finishes in 6th. Hard luck to him. Mick Story comes over in 7th. And then it should be Mark Grasby through in 8th place. A couple of back markers go through there. Mark Grasby will be next over the line there. He is, the red and white car. 9th it will be the battle between Matthew Hollis and Chris Yates. Hollis finally got through there to take 9th ahead of Chris Yates, and the next group, we'll wait for them to come through. I think it'll be Simon Turner, number 81, the Tête Rouge car, next over the line. We'll confirm the full result shortly. There's Sir Aubrey Brocklebank over the line in 41. A vintage car racer as well. Well, you would have to be a vintage car racer with that name. It fits perfectly, doesn't it? Fair play to Sir Aubrey. Oh, and there's the reason we saw Nigel Hollis slowing down. He's got a puncture. Left front tyre is flat. He just limped it to the finish there, a lap down. And there we see the it perfectly sums it up. If you look on the windscreen banner on Nigel's car, Citroen 2CV Racing, big thrills, small bills. And that sums it up perfectly. Shame for Nigel, because he's got to fork out for some new tyres by the look of it. But that was brilliant. Well done to all our Citroen 2CV drivers. And we will head down to the pit lane with Ian Waterhouse to talk to our race winner.
Right, hello everybody, welcome down to the pit lane here, and it's Pete Sparrow. Certainly flew away from his rivals in that race again to make it a pair of wins this weekend at Brands Hatch. Pete, congratulations. You kind of got away from everybody again in that one and sort of made it look relatively easy.
Yeah, again, quite lucky. I think the car's got a little bit more speed than some of the cars behind. So if I could get clear, I knew they'd fight, and the first few laps I could see them chopping and changing. So consequently, I was quite lucky that again that worked to my favour. It's just basically trying to stay out of trouble. So I did that and just built a bit of a lead. And actually, I did enjoy that. I was quite fun towards the end, but not great fun when you're not really racing. You just
well, you said that after the race one, actually, didn't you? I've got a question actually, Pete. You got 28 plastered all over your helmet everywhere. Obviously that's your number, but why is 28 so important to you? Because you've got 97 on the car.
Well, the car's not mine. The car's borrowed. Basically, 28 is my birthday. So and that sort of started years and years ago when I had a first go-kart, and it sort of continued. But this isn't my car. The guy that owns it wants to run 97, so that's what we run.
I thought it was your age.
Oh, wish. No. 97 is probably closer. So yeah, good weekend. I think everybody did okay. Got to say, I'm really sorry for Max, who's the lad that works for me. He rolled, I think, on the first lap, which is a real shame. It's his first race, so a real shame that happened. We were trying desperately to, stop him having an accident, because it's quite easy to do there. But as long as he's okay, the car can be fixed. We'll sort him out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, great words, Pete.
Thanks very much.
Best of luck, and thank you. We'll see you next time. There we go. That's Pete Sparrow flying away from his rivals to win both races here at Brands Hatch. I'm going to hand back to your commentator, Dave Goddo, because we've got the MGs just about to head out on track. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ian, and thank you to the Citroen 2CVs. Some of the best racing I've seen this year. We'll confirm the result then. Pete Sparrow, the winner, ahead of Chris Tovey by 12.39 seconds. Nick Crispin third in that great scrap with Sandro Proietti. David O'Keefe and the slightly battered car of Luca Proietti in sixth. Mick Story took seventh ahead of Mark Graspy, then Matthew Hollis and Chris Yates. They had a good scrap as well all the way through. 11th going to Simon Turner ahead of Chris Hall. Then Richard Hollis Brown was 13th. Sir Aubrey Brocklebank 14th, and Richard Pryor rounding out the top 15. Further back in the results, Roy Eastwood ended up 16th. Then a lap down were Ron Mears and Andy Donaldson. Nigel Hollis finished 19th after picking up that puncture a couple of laps from home. And George Broadhurst called into the pits. Best wishes to Max Wyatt. Thankfully appears to be okay after his rollover. Hopefully the team will get that car back out again soon, the Grey Arrows.